Hey Collective, it's Intuitive Pisces Moon and welcome to my channel. So I am going to do a pick-a-pile love reading for you today. I just posted a general pick-a-pile reading for the collective, and so I was also just called to now do it for your love situations. So I know that everybody's love situations out there are slightly different, and this is the best way to have you choose your own path. So go ahead and focus on whichever pile it is that you resonate with most, whether it is the number, whether it is the location of the cards, whatever it is that resonates most with you, pick that pile and I will see you in your respective pile. All right, so if you chose pile 1, then this is your reading. So I have pre-selected some cards, but we will pull some additional cards later on in your spread. But we just want to tap into what's going on in your love situation. So this applies to you whether you are in a relationship, whether you are single and looking, maybe you're in no contact with someone. So we are going to get messages from your person. We're going to see what's going on in the environment surrounding this connection. Maybe there is no connection. You're just curious what's coming into your world. So let's take a look and see what we have going on here. So the first card that came up here for you is confusion. All seekers of truth experience confusion. Ask the divine to provide the answers that you need. So there might be something involving you and another individual where you're uncertain where it's headed. Maybe this could be either, again, you're in a connection and there's uncertainty, or maybe there's no contact, you're in separation. Maybe you just met someone brand new and you're uncertain where this goes. So it feels like there's a lack of clarity around where you stand with someone. So let's see what else we have here. We've got free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. All right, so with that, that's almost giving me that you're allowing this confusion to rule your thoughts a bit much at this time, okay? So it could be overthinking. Whatever is involved with this, it feels like it's time to free yourself from whatever this, I'm getting like restraints or shackles may be causing you to feel in your life at this time. So let's see what else we got. We have engagement ring. So engagement, partnership, commitment, eternity, completion, and union. And then I like you. So this is a very interesting dynamic because it feels like, again, uncertainty. Because there's a big difference between someone just saying, I like you, versus someone saying, let's get married, right? So that feels like pretty heavily here what this confusion is all about. Maybe somebody has yet to define a relationship, like not putting a title on it. And so you're just completely uncertain whether you should plan a future together or you should just be like, we're friends, I kind of like you, you know, that sort of thing. It feels like you're being, I don't want to say strung along, but maybe you feel that you're being strung along. So you're being called to read between the lines on a situation where, you know, maybe you would prefer there to just be very blunt conversation about something. So whatever this is, just know that you have a choice in the matter, no matter what's going on here in your situation. You are being called to take back control of your life. Okay, so if you feel that you are stuck in something, it's time to free yourself from that. So rather than assume this person wants to offer you a ring and get married when maybe they only like you, or, you know, the other way around, it could go either way. Maybe you're assuming that about somebody else that you're with as well, you know? Maybe they're assuming that about you. There's a lot of things that could be playing out here where Spirit's calling you to get definitive confirmation about it. So have you talked to the person about how you feel? Have you talked to the person about what the boundary is, if there is a boundary? Have you talked to them about what the title of the situationship is, right? Because if it has not been named or spoken about, it feels like there's just a lot of uncertainty here, that you're left in this state of confusion. Like, I don't know what we are. Are we friends? Are we friends with benefits? Are we in a relationship? Are we anything in between all that? Like, potential marriage companions in the future, or maybe I want this now and you don't, or whatever this is. Again, I'm getting confused trying to name whatever the heck is happening here, and it's a very interesting dynamic to be put into that position. So I love too that the wind chimes are going like crazy. So let's see what else we've got. I'm going to read from the book on the next card here. So this is from my Alice in Wonderland deck, and we have Becoming Braver. And it says, resilience, experience, growing stronger, and fresh perspective. So maybe someone's been too scared to ask that question because they're afraid of the response. That's what I'm getting now with that. So, like, as in, maybe they don't want to hear that, oh no, you're just my friend, when you wanted more, and so you're afraid to even ask the question. So let's read a little bit about this. It says, Alice is brave and so are you. With everything that has taken place in your life as of late, you have often felt overwhelmed, challenged, and uncertain of whether you could cope with very much more. But you have shown great courage, and perhaps even more wonderfully, you've developed so much resilience. Because of the extreme nature of the events and experiences that you have been working with, you will now be able to deal with all the manner of circumstance with great calm and stoicism. And this is no small thing. Being challenged in quite radical ways can see some people retreat entirely from life, but you, like Alice, can see one of the aspects of working through adversity in realizing just how much you can do. You have been stretched, pushed, and gone right to the very edges of what you know about yourself. And you have come to know yourself far better, far more deeply than if you had not had these great and sometimes rather terrible adventures. So the message here is, you have been tested. The development of strength and resilience through the courageous meeting of challenges. The demonstration of great character. The acknowledgement of how much you have learned. The ability to cope with so many little things due to great ordeal endured with grace, dignity, and humor. Testing times shows true character. So again, it's giving me that there's something involved here where maybe this was a test with whatever this was, the situationship of how much you're willing to endure. Like, how long can you last without there being a definitive title, or you being in this confused state of what's happening between you and another person here. So Spirit's calling you to become braver and ask the question, which is it? Am I your everything? Because if I'm not, then you have to be okay with being there nothing at all. So I'm not suggesting you go and leave behind, something that you've been in or whatever the situation is, but start with some verbal clarity. A title. Let's put a name on it. Are you ready to put a ring on it? If the answer is no, and it's been like 10 years and you're like, okay, then I gotta bounce. Like, whatever this is to you, and you will know what this is to you, you have to be willing and ready to take that next step if the thing that you're not ready to hear comes up. So I am going to jump into the tarot And this is going to be our bonus card for when we're all finished here. So let's look at the tarot. Tell me more about this situation, please, for pile 1. The Queen of Pentacles. I'm getting that you're going to be fine on your own. If you do have to leave behind a scenario, yep, it's going to rock your world and theirs, but you're going to be better off for it. Because it's better than being in a state of confusion about where you stand with a person. I'm getting also, too, that you'll know this is your pile if you know when it's time to put the work in, like roll up your sleeves and do something. This other person may feign illness or act uninterested or make up something else they gotta go do. Like, oh, I can't because of something, something, something. Yeah, you're about to get hit with a truth bomb. I'm getting the words truth and bomb. Something is about to become very, very evident to you about this other person. And once you hear it, you can't unhear it. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. Yeah. It's likely that this person has kept you in some sort of confused state. And I'm not saying it's been done on purpose. You know, we all have our reasons for doing things. But I am getting that for some of you out there that there has been, you know, Seven of Cups mimics this confusion card. There has been some confusion to the point of you just being like, look, I don't know what's up and what's down. You know, maybe there's been gaslighting, manipulation, that sort of thing. And that's where this truth, this clarity is going to come in, right? Something is going to be made evident to you. And you can't ignore it once it is shown to you, right? All right, so let's keep going. Let's look at this card. I am going to read from the deck on this one. We have the thread. So I know what the thread means, but I'm still going to look at it in the book because it's important to also note that my first impression with the thread was that that was them trying to not let you go. Like, as in, even if you try to leave, I'm still always going to try to pull you back in some way with something. And I don't know what the something is because that's going to be different for all of you. You know, maybe they might try to make you feel guilty for leaving. Maybe they might try to make you feel that you can't find somebody better. Or, you know, there's a various amount of reasons here that could come up. So this is the path, the vein, the circuit. And life is a tangle. So much happens simultaneously and circuitously, leaving us grappling for meaning and direction in a network of distractions. When we connect to the energy of the thread, we strike the deepest vein in the body. Our whole being responds to its tug. Meaning is pumped through our bloodstream, our mind and our spirits are lifted. We remember who we are and what we came into this world to do. Though this happens on the most profound level, it could be the simplest incident that activates the thread. A song, an image, a conversation heard in passing. No matter how confusing and multi-layered our modern lives become, if we are connected to the thread, we are free. Being tethered to it is the only anchor our heart requires. How interesting, because we have free yourself here. It's almost like this is you trying to pull yourself back to yourself, right? I saw it as something else, which I think it could be really construed in both ways. But it feels like this other individual is trying to pull you back, but also your soul is trying to pull you back to yourself. So it's like a multi-dimensional pulling going on here, and it's such a strange dynamic, but that's what's going on here for you. So let's see if we can get some messages from your person here. Let's see if we can get some messages from them for this reading, please. What do we have? I am working on myself each day so that I can come back to you. Okay. So maybe that's how they're trying to pull you back in. Like, listen, I'm trying to do better. I remember how we used to laugh and talk for hours about everything. I miss you. Okay. I'm moving on with my life. Yes, this feels very, again, unsure. Like, this is unsure energy. I bet you get a lot of hot and cold energy, a lot of push and pull with them. I am afraid for getting too serious because I was hurt before. There it is. It's like this person has two sides to them, and you're getting equally both sides. And they don't know what they want. Therefore, it's confusing you into being like, well, what do you want? Because I can't just stay here and wait for you forever. Like, that is what this feels like. So let's get one more here. Tell me more, please, for pile 1. It's like this person expects you to wait around for them while they figure their stuff out. And I just want you to know that no one's asking you to do that, okay? You do not have to do that. Okay, we got this one. Soulmate. Your soulmate is already with you in spirit. Believe this and they will manifest physically. So maybe you have felt a very deep soul connection with this person. But I just heard the quit playing games with my heart. Quit playing games with my heart. So I don't know if you are like at this very push-pull dynamic with this individual. And it feels like games are being played. Because they come in like this with the love bombing. And then they retreat back and they're like, I'm afraid. I got to move on and do something else. So you're so unsure. There's so much like hot and cold energy, push and pull energy in this reading. And no wonder you are confused AF. It's like this thread is tied to them and you know it's tied to them. And maybe it's a heartstring. Maybe they know exactly what that heartstring is to pull with you and you come back every time. So I'm not here to judge you. This is, your path, your sacred journey. You're going to do what you're going to do with it. But just know that you are not expected to wait around forever while this person heals themselves. It's not in the cards for you to do that. In fact, you are very specifically being told to free yourself from whatever this is, okay? Maybe they did propose to you at some point, but then they backed out. I'm getting that too. Because this feels like someone who is like sure and unsure and sure and unsure and sure and unsure. And I wouldn't stick around for that either. I really don't blame you for wanting to speak up about something or leave something behind, There's something here that needs to be left behind, even if it's not permanent, it doesn't have to be permanent. It can absolutely be, while things are being sorted out here, I have to go deal with my own life and my own stuff. I'm going to hold space for you while you go along on your journey, and good luck to you. But I can't be continuously pulled back into this dynamic where I'm not appreciated for what I am, So you're going to do what you're going to do, and, I admire you for that because this is a tough situation to be in. So pile 1, this is your love reading. I want to thank you all so much for joining me. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. If this message resonated with you, great. Give it a like, share, and subscribe. If it did not, that's okay. Go ahead and check out one of the other piles. There might be something in there for you. All right, pile 2. If you chose this pile, then this is your reading. So we're going to jump right into your cards, and we will pull some additional ones a little later on. But let's see what we have for you. So the first one out is spiritual. Your spiritual journey is beginning. So I don't know if this is recent because it does say beginning. Maybe you have just recently met somebody that you're feeling very connected to. Like, oh, I think this is my soulmate. I think this is a very spiritual connection. But it definitely feels like this is something brand new, not like someone from the past coming back into your life. Let's see what else we have here. We have healing family issues. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. Okay. So there could be some dynamic between one or both of you. You know, again, thinking of whoever this other individual is that's on your mind that you came to this reading for. Maybe perhaps one or both of you are coming together to help heal family lineage issues. Okay. So it's almost like the love is what's healing for yourselves, for each other, okay? And then thus that heals your family lineage. So let's see what else we've got here. So we have girl talk, time with friends, moving on, happily single, living in the moment, and having fun. And then the axe, breakup, separation, stop the pattern, silent treatment, abandonment. Very interesting. So the ones that I took out of these are stopping the patterns and living in the moment and even moving on. So again, going back to the family issues, the healing of the family issues. So there may be something involved here where because we're living in the moment and moving on from those, we're also stopping the patterns of the family issues, that sort of thing. So let's see what else we've got here. This is from my Alice in Wonderland deck. We have number 28, which is nonsense. It's time to talk sense. All right. So let's read from the book a little bit about that there. All right. So, like Alice, you do not need to say very much or criticize the person, argue with them, or even point out what they're doing. You simply need to be firm, clear, and direct, and cut through all the nonsense that is taking place. If you do this, you will silence them, and they can do you no harm. They will be so surprised that someone is expressing their personal power and pointing out their stillness that will be quite safe. Others will be grateful, and in time they too will stand up for themselves. All right, I love that. That does go along with it. Courageously standing up for yourself when someone is behaving in a way that is silly and unfair, refusing to be cowed, pointing out a person's bad behavior, not backing down on the truth, looking someone in the eye, being very brave, strong, and no longer intimidated, surprising yourself with your power. I love that because, listen, a lot of what we deal with family dynamics is that exactly. I don't know how many times any of you out there have dealt with an elder, and I'm just going to refer to them as an elder because, you know, they come in many forms, right? Any elder, whether they're in your family or not. They may have grown up thinking that they can strong arm you, that they can talk down to you to get their way, to get what they want from you. And all it takes is for you to simply tell them that that is unacceptable and that you will not tolerate being spoken to that way. And that can be tough because I guarantee that as a kid, you probably received some sort of backlash for that, maybe even punishment for speaking up. This happened to me as an adult. I had a family member step to me and try to talk to me as though I were a child. And all it takes is for you to speak out against it and be like, look, I'm not going to tolerate you talking to me that way. We're adults. I don't have to do what you're telling me to do just because you told me to do it, you know? And again, you're going to do this in your own way. But this is very much what they're tying me to with this. It's like, look, I'm not going to perpetuate this cycle. I'm going to stop the pattern. I'm not going to bully people because that's what I've always done, because I've always gotten away with it. We're going to stop the pattern and speak up, for ourselves and for other people. And it even said in this card, in the divination message, that guess what? You do it and other people are going to start doing it too, because nobody wants to be talked to that way or treated in any particular way. And again, these are family issues. These are things you grew up with, ways of being that have just been deemed as, I'm not even going to say acceptable, because I don't even know that they've been considered acceptable, but they were tolerated, right? And, being that this card says girl talk, it could be a feminine energy. In my situation, it was a feminine that tried to speak to me that way. So guess what? You have a choice. You can speak up and speak out about something. It's your choice. I know this is a love reading, but this feels like potentially you're doing something in your family and this other individual is also facing something similar in their family. So again, maybe if you are a feminine watching and you're talking about healing the family's lineage for other feminines, right? You're not perpetuating the cycle. Maybe if you are the masculine listening, or you're dealing with a masculine, whatever that situation is, then it's same type of stuff, right? Healing that toxic masculine energy. And guess what? There's toxic feminine energy out there too. So it's not just one or the other. Both can be toxic, right? We're not calling anyone out. We're not judging anybody. We're just saying it like it is. All right. So I am going to get into the tarot. Let's see what else we have for this message. All right, we're going to move this one out of the way a little bit. That's our bonus card. We will get into that in a little bit here. Oh, so we have the King of Wands. I love that because, well, there's a few reasons coming out here. First of all, that is a masculine leadership position. Very passionate, right? We have in the background here a fire happening. And I have been hearing a lot of songs lately referring to burning something down, having to do with fire. A lot of it. And so I'm also getting that that's part of what we're burning down, right? We're burning down the stuff that we don't choose to perpetuate in the future. And it does take a leadership person to be able to do that. But then we have Temperance here, which is Sagittarius energy, more fire energy. And now this is telling me that we're finding that balance between our spiritual worlds and our three-dimensional worlds, right? What do we need to burn down? What can we keep alive? The Wheel of Fortune. I love that. There is definitely something changing. Changes are in the works. It's like it's already happening. The wheel's already spinning and already changing. And some of you are seeing this already. Okay, Page of Wands. With the Four of Swords and the Fool. I love this. So there was definitely some healing that needed to take place here in order to heal these family issues, okay? It was almost like you needed to find who you truly were. And it's almost like, now it's giving me like Phoenix Rising energy, because we have this king here who's burning everything down and then starting over, right? And it's totally fine to start over sometimes. Sometimes we, grow up with a particular dynamic and we realize this is not what we want for our family moving forward. Maybe there's particular traditions that are just not something you want to celebrate. So you're like, I'm going to leave that and I'm not going to celebrate that. And maybe there's additional ones you bring in, so you get to decide for yourself. I'm also getting that, again, because this is a love reading, that this pertains to relationships. So maybe in the past, you were dictated to as far as who you were allowed to date. Like they had to be a particular race or a particular gender or a particular religion, political party. I mean, you name it. Families for generations have tried to dictate who they think you should be with because, quote unquote, they know best, or this is tradition. You know what I mean? I'm getting that you're breaking tradition here, but in the best way possible, because you're not perpetuating these cycles, right? The patterns. You're starting brand new with something, and it's from a healed place. Right? And that includes relationships. You're healing this family lineage, and so you're moving forward into this fresh new era from a healed and balanced place. This is beautiful energy, pile 2. Beautiful. All right, so let's take a look at this card. So we have the Sustainer. So let's see what this has to say here. So this is the Peacemaker, the Upholder, and the Preserver. The Sustainer, the second archetype in the trio of existence, works behind the scenes, attending to the tasks of life. They cultivate gardens, pay bills, keep the meals warm, and the mouths sweetly fed. The Sustainer is at peace in the process of life, knowing there is no start or finish to humble yet meaningful tasks. They have a natural inclination to nourish others, to archive, to preserve Earth's resources, to consider environmental impact, to see their role in the divine cycle of life. It's common for the Sustainer to become overworked, leading to resentment. Their tasks aren't glamorous, and therefore the Sustainer rarely receives the credit for attention. The Sustainer longs to hold things in place so badly, especially relationships, that they resist necessary change. Take time with this archetype. It is within all of us and needs our love. All right. Again, when they say especially in relationships, they long to hold things in place so badly that they resist necessary change. So let's discuss that, because it's very important for this reading for you, pile 2. What this is giving me again is healing these patterns, right? Because we're healing ourselves and our lineage and we're starting fresh, what this is telling me is that you're not going to be doing that anymore. Maybe it was in your family to stay married no matter what. Even if the other person was abusive, they were a terrible human being, you just were not compatible. Maybe there was arranged marriages. So whatever this was, I am very much getting that you are standing up for your beliefs and not necessarily for whatever this belief system is that you were led to believe, that you had to follow. So staying until resentment, leaving behind. Believing that you have to stay no matter what, leaving behind. You are starting this new era for yourself and saying, I don't have to follow that. I don't have to be involved in that. Wow. All right. Let's see if we can get some messages from your person here. All right. I love you today, tomorrow, and always. I was just a fool for not admitting it earlier. All right. We got the Fool card here too. Other people were interfering and trying to control me. Yes. So again, you guys are fighting a very similar family dynamic. Okay? Where again, if you were anything different than what this family expected you to be, then they probably talked your person, the person you came to this reading for, out of being with you. All right. I hurt myself by letting you go. And then we had one fall to the floor. And we have, I can't take being away from you any longer. Yeah. Again, this Fool card here is basically saying, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to start over. So this one may be someone from your past. At the bottom here, we do have, we both need time to heal. Four of Swords indicates that. And I'm even getting that it was inner child wounds. Definitely going back to the family lineage and how you were treated, how you were handled, how you were spoken to. Very much about how you were spoken to. But you do have a spiritual connection here. All right. Let's get one of these cards for this reading here. All right, we have this one. And it says surrender. At times we must surrender the old before something new can enter our lives. Let go and all will work out. Definitely. That definitely ties in with everything that we've been talking about. So just know that you're leaving behind something that doesn't serve you because it's these old family lineage patterns. And as you heal that within yourself, your person that's out there as well is doing the same thing because they've got their own family lineage things to heal, okay? Which again was likely a lot of the reasons why you couldn't be together, because they were probably convinced that there was something wrong with you or that you didn't fit the mold that you were supposed to fit, you know? So anyways, this is going to work out for you because there's definitely somebody here that's thinking about you and can't take being away from you any longer. Plus, they really love you. And again, maybe they didn't use their words. They didn't tell you that sooner. So, this has been your reading pile 2, and I hope it resonated with you. If it did, go ahead and give it a like, share, and subscribe. You could even comment. If it didn't, that's okay. Don't force the message. Check out one of the other piles, and maybe one of those will resonate with you. But we'll see you next time. Thank you. Welcome pile 3 to your reading. So if you chose this pile, then this is your reading. So we're going to take a look at what the cards are that we pulled for you. And then I'll also pull some additional ones later. So let's take a look at what we have for you. We have honor. Honor your loved one and you will notice your relationship become stronger. All right. So honor your loved one and you'll notice your relationship becomes stronger. So it feels like in this picture here that there's two individuals and they are reaching towards, well, the man is reaching towards the woman with the water here. So this is a very interesting image. I'm not sure how this depicts honor, but that's what we're looking at here. So there's something here that I'm even getting like your honor, like law related, something going on here. This could also be showing them respect in some aspect. So let's get more and find out where this is going. This could be the one. You've already met the romantic partner that you seek. Okay. So whoever it is that you are here for, it does seem like this person is already in your life in some way. Doesn't have to be a romantic partner that you've already gotten involved with. This could in fact be just a friend, a coworker, a friend of a friend, you know, something like that. An acquaintance. But it says that you've already met them. So that's kind of neat. Let's see what else we have going on here. So we have camera, reminiscing, keepsake, perception, learn from the past, make memories. And then we have the snake, competition, enemy, clever, malicious, look over your shoulder, and the other woman. All right, so this is giving me some spying third-party energy here. And as I was reading those, the wind picked up and the wind chimes started going crazy down there. I don't know if you all can hear that. So you likely know what this deal is if you came to this pile. So I'm very much getting like third party interference here. Okay, so maybe the person that you came here for this reading with, you know, is the one, or that this could be the one, but maybe they're involved in another situation. Okay, so I'm trying to think of how we could apply this. There's different parts that are coming up here. Some involving looking at pictures. Maybe you took like a group rafting trip or something like that, and you're both in the picture, but then so is this person's significant other, and you look at that a lot, or they look at that a lot. There's some group activity that there may have been like a photograph that was taken, and someone looks at it a lot. Could be social media as well. It doesn't have to be an actual photograph that they're holding in their hand. Could be just spying on socials. All right, let's see what else we've got here. So this is from my Alice in Wonderland deck. And we have all in the golden afternoon. Inspiration, creative spark, imagination, and conception. All right. And that's the first deck of the first card of the deck. So let's see what we've got going on here. All right. What wonderlands can you create when you allow yourself to be open to the genius all about you and invite it to come into the world through you? You are imaginative. You are creative. You have that spark within you. Whatever it is that you wish to do, paint, draw, sing, write, dance, do this creative, vital, brilliant, life-bringing thing. Who knows what creations you can bring forth? Why not begin to discover the possibilities today? So the divination message is it's time to create an imaginative idea. Inspiration takes hold. Talent and ability, the muse touches down in your life. Get ready. All right, that's very interesting. I don't know how that plays in with our situation here, but we're about to find out because I'm going to pull some tarot. So this is our bonus card that we're going to pull a little later here. But something is calling you to be creative and to, I'm getting like not put as much focus on this at this time, right? And again, the word focus with the camera, it's like, I made a punny, ha ha ha. Like you're being called to look at something else right now in your own life, okay? You've got creative ideas, you've got different pursuits that are calling you away from whatever this is, okay? And I know that you came here for a love reading, but it feels like you've got better things to do right now. Okay, we have the Six of Wands. That's victory and success. I love it. And these two cards even mimic each other as far as like the color goes. Like there's the two sides and then this color in the middle, and the two sides and this color in the middle. So there's something here and they're reversed. There's something that's happening up here with this third party energy that's not going to last forever. I was almost going to say much longer. That may also be true. Page of Swords here, this could be the spying, right? Maybe even communication. The Nine of Swords. Okay. Not going to ignore that I saw the Tower at the bottom here, and then the Lovers at the bottom. There's the Lovers. Came out anyways. Yeah. There is a new beginning on the horizon here. And somebody may even be all tore up about something in their world because of a decision that has to be made. Like, what this is giving me is that your person may see what's going on here with this snake energy. So again, third party energy. Doesn't have to be a romantic situation. So if you came here for this reading and your person's not in another relationship, this could honestly just be any karmic in their life. This could be family members preventing them from doing what they want to do, right? It does say the other woman though. However, it doesn't have to be. Someone who is definitely just trying to prevent this from happening. We do have, this could be the one with the lovers, which confirms that. Ace of Wands confirms a passionate new beginning. Did this person try to juggle you and another person at some point? I'm asking you as though you're going to answer me. But I feel like all your situations are slightly different, but I am getting that for someone here, like love triangle, right? Ten of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. This is your destiny here. And this is what it is that you have to do. That's your creative endeavor. It's going to bring you legacy. And what I'm hearing at this point is you don't necessarily need this individual to do it. Maybe initially that was the plan, but it doesn't have to be moving forward. What this is giving me is that you've got everything that you need within you to do it yourself. So if you are in the midst of a creative endeavor, do it. Don't let something else hold you back here. Okay? You have success and victory assured. And you might even receive recognition for it, like an award for it. Yeah, you don't have to worry about whatever's going on over here. That's what I keep hearing with that. All right, let's see what we've got here with this card. We have the vow. Okay, let's see what the book says on the vow. So the vow is the promise and the contract. When the vow is spoken, the air shifts. Karmic ties are formed and destiny tilts on its axis. Our worlds and intentions have immense power. Our words and intentions. There is a reason the great mythic stories of our past often include the recitation and oaths and the mixing of drops of blood as a mark of union. The tricky part is that reciting the vow, no matter how casually, activates the eternal and unseen forces of the world. The ancestors bear witness. The laws of nature respond. These promises cannot be unsaid or forgotten. So breaking them can leave lingering complexities and loose ends. This card calls us to acknowledge the vow that we are living by consciously or unconsciously, and either recommit or create a ritual that signifies its closure. You've been underestimating the power of your promises. All right. So a few things actually came up for me while I was reading that. One is that potentially with this other individual that you came to see this reading for has committed themselves elsewhere. Again, that's that third party romantic situation. And so now you're sitting here going, okay, but we made this vow and now what do I do? Well, you've got stuff to create. And so Spirit's calling you to redo your vow and commit it to yourself and your promises, your inspirations, your creative endeavors, right? But also in what your daily activities are. What are you putting your energy towards? Are you vowing to yourself that this is what you would like to be doing with your life? Or do you need to redirect that energy? Okay? So, like, if you're pouring your love into a love that's not, I'm getting like unrequited, it's time to pour it back into yourself. All right. Let's see what else we got. Let's get some love messages from your person here. Okay. I know I was wrong by not talking to you. Would you be open to talking now? So that's this Page of Swords energy here. No matter what happens, my heart will always belong to you. Okay. This person is aware of this connection, of potentially being the one and the Lover's card with the vow, but they may have had some other lessons that needed to play out with another individual first. I don't know about everybody's story, but that's one of the scenarios that's coming to me here. Please understand that I need space right now, okay? And again, that could be to play out those other lessons. Sometimes people have to play out lessons even though you're part of something that don't involve you. It's like they needed to wrap that up first elsewhere before they can do anything with you. No one makes me feel the way that you do. You are the best I ever had. Okay. So this person understands what this is. I can't say whether they're going to be moving toward you anytime soon because there's no evidence of that. It's like they have this knowing, but they may be committed elsewhere. Or there may be other karmic forces around them that are preventing them from coming forward. The main message here for you is to just use your energy, pour it back into yourself, and pour it towards your creative endeavors. Okay? Alright, what else do we have here? Let's get one final message, please. This one. Secret admirer. Someone has deeper feelings for you than they are letting on. Alright. So that is making me curious that potentially there could be somebody else out there that's like looking at you. Maybe someone is going to show up in your life here pretty soon and it's going to take your focus off of this other individual. Like, hey, I want to help you with your creative endeavors. Let's go this way, you know. And it'll help take your mind off of whatever this is. All right, so pile 3, this has been your reading. I hope it resonated with you. If it did, go ahead and give it a like, share, and subscribe. I'd really appreciate that. If it didn't, that's okay. Check out one of the other piles and see if there's a message in there for you. Don't make it fit if it doesn't fit. But I want to thank you all so much for joining me today. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.